Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Steam Shuffle, and I know it has been a far too long since I've done one of these. I got fairly sick, and I was sick for at least about a month for some reason, because it took forever for me to get over it. I didn't have a voice, I couldn't talk very well, and that kind of put a hamper on things. We're going to try to get back into it, and the one we're looking at today is actually Dragon's Dogma, which is actually a Capcom release originally on the PlayStation 3, but this was a PC re-release, we'll say. I wouldn't call it a remaster, but they did fix a few things with the PC port that I'm actually quite pleased with. It was released January 15th, so about a month ago this one came out. And the main differences are performance increases. There were problems on the PlayStation 3 with frame drops and things like this. This runs a steady 60 most of the time. When I'm recording it, I'm actually having a hard time keeping it up there, but other than that, I haven't had a problem with it at all. And it's different. It's kind of a mash between your Monster Hunter and your Skyrim. It's got a very unique combat take on things, but that's the best part of the game. Other places they're kind of lacking in it. We're going to get into that and show you that a little bit. You see a hard mode on there I have not played around with. A speedrun mode I have not played around with. And of course your options menu, which they did really well on this. I will give Capcom that for sure. The keyboard and mouse bindings show exactly what the buttons are depending on what your input device is. If you're using a controller, it gives you the controller keys, and you can switch between them on the fly. Like, for instance, I'll pick up the controller here, and I'm going to move this, and it immediately works. I'm going to put this down. It immediately works with the keyboard and mouse. And you see at the top there, the buttons change. That says left button, right button, and the face buttons for the Xbox controller. As soon as I go to controller, or keyboard, it switches right back to where it's supposed to be. So, awesome. More games need to do that. When they give me prompts for what I'm not using, it infuriates me to no end. Your video settings got actually quite a bit in here to your AA levels. I'm actually going to turn FXAA off entirely, and we're going to turn the texture filtering down to 8 instead of 16. I've got a few things on low just to make sure I hit that 60, but again, my machine's not the most powerful anymore. It was a couple of years ago. It's definitely time for an upgrade, but at this point I can run most things at a level that's definitely higher than console, and that 60 frame is what's killing it for me on this. From what I could see, there were problems with the frame rate tanking in combat scenes on the console, and this is a game that I wanted to play since it came out, but I didn't want to get it on the console, so I was pretty stoked about it. I've got about 15 hours in so far, so I'm not sure how far I'm in, but I will show you off what I can. So I'm going to save these changes here real quick. Hopefully we don't crash anything by doing so. Should be good. No, I said save. Oh, I'm sorry. That is actually backspace. That is not enter. There we go. Let the backspace key there save our graphics changes. Odd decision. Okay, backspace to get out of the menu, but we'll take it. Whatever. Not going to make or break me. So let's load her up. I've got a few qualms with this, and I'll kind of try to address them as I go, but then at the same time I like it, so I'm a bit torn on this. Hopefully this will help you guys in making a decision if it comes to that. So here's my character. This is Asher. Asher's got a mask on. I am an assassin archetype at right now, which you can change whenever you want throughout the game if you want to try something else, but I'm digging the assassin, the sword and the bow. You see my 3 companions here, which are the unique aspect of this game. It is called the pawn system. And the pawn system is like this one right here. This is my pawn, Sayuri. That's my pawn. That one follows you at all times. That pawn can also be used by anyone else who plays the game, and they assist you. The other two, they're Cassis and Nisa. Those are other people's pawns. Those are the ones that I just picked up. That one's mine. And it's put a really unique spin on where you can kind of play with your friends, but you're not actually playing with your friends. So I thought that's pretty cool. I've never really seen anything done like that before, and it's a unique touch. However, there is no story. Like the pawns they don't have a personality. They'll talk, but there's nothing, like, they're not actually characters. And a lot of your Western RPGs, like your Dragon Ages and things like that, they have that. These guys don't. In fact, that is one of my biggest complaints with Dragon's Dogma is the story. There really is none. You get your heart taken out by a dragon at the beginning, reminiscent of Dragonheart, and then you go kill stuff and collect bear asses and herbs on the ground. That's about it. That's all you get for story. So, not if you're wanting a heavy story-driven experience, avoid this one at all costs, because you're not going to get one if that's what gets you off in games. However, the combat, on the other hand, that's where things get interesting. And the combat is highly, highly enjoyable. It's the best part of it. I'm going to take out these bandits here real quick, just kind of in real time, so you can kind of see what's going on. Whoa! Alright, well, we got a griffin. So good thing to... now we can actually demonstrate what's going on here. Hold up, let me heal up. That, I was not expecting that. Alright. Well, there's giant monsters in Dragon's Dogma. As you just saw that thing stomp on my head. I don't know where he went. That's not good. Come on. Where'd you go? Okay. Oh, there he is. He's picking up one of my people. I'm gonna grab another head. Man, this is not what I was expecting. Alright. We're gonna use that. We're at full health. Let's see if we can find us a griffin, shall we? Got a few bandits to deal with on the way, but I bet you we can do quite a bit of damage to him. Take this one out. If he does not stop stabbing me. Jesus, there. Alright. Get my pawn up. We're good. Take out another bandit there. We're good. Where'd that thing go? Where'd it go? Oh, I saw the shadow. There it is. Alright. So the idea is with these giant monsters, you actually fight them as you would a giant monster. I'm gonna have to climb up on this guy and do what I got. He's got me. He got me in his claws. Come on, get out of there. Break out, break out, break out, break out. Break out, break out. And that's gonna hurt. And I'm dead. Alright. Well, that was unexpected. Really kind of cut me off from what I was saying. Let's try that again, shall we? Jeez. So, you have your regular mobs. You have your bandits, you have things like that. But then you have things like that. The griffin that we just came across. There's a hydra that I've killed. You kill cyclopses, things like that. And they are larger than life bosses where you will fight them Shadow of Colossus-esque, Monster Hunter-esque. I mean, you have to climb up on these guys and really give them what's what. And that is the most enjoyable part of Dragon's Dogma for me, is this combat. It's absolutely insane. My biggest complaint with it is there's not enough. The world is pretty huge. It's good size, but there's not enough going on, really. I mean, it's a very empty world. It's not very alive, and everything that you come across is pre-rendered. It's not randomly generated, so these guys will be here every single time you come through. And I really have enjoyed playing. I've enjoyed fighting. I've enjoyed killing these guys, but that's the only part I like. I mean, I don't have much of a reason to do it. You know, the story doesn't compel me to kill these people. The quests are very run-of-the-mill bland, but the combat is so fun. So, you have your regular heavy and light attack. Then you have, well, the way my keys are set up is if you can hold your left control down, you have your 3 special abilities for your weapon. I've got my burst strike. I've got a stab there, which actually works really well when you're climbing on someone, and then the antler toss. And then my alt key gives me my secondaries, which in this case is going to be a bow. I've got a full force arrow. I've got 5 arrows at once. And then I have the blunting arrow, which I believe can knock him out. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it knocks him out. Your wizards over here and whatnot, they have access to a whole bunch of different spells. I've seen tornadoes, ice, fire, lightning, death, holy. I mean, they have way more moves than I do. Basically, a lot of mine are just different types of sword strikes that are good for different AoE attacks or different situations that are more movement based. The The Strider, I believe, that I started out before I was an assassin, you can get things like bombs that'll blow people up in the air and stuff like that, so it's a little more varied. But when I started as a Strider, this game does not hold your hand. It is, at least from my experience, it is very difficult when you start out. And the dagger-wielding Strider just didn't handle too well. Oh, there's that Griffin again. I think we might be able to track him down. Might be able to get some. Full bend arrow. Can I smack him? Oh, he's down. Let's go get some. Do a little bit of damage from range. You'll see my stamina bar down at the bottom there is used every single time I use one of my special abilities, as well as sprinting. And when you run out of stamina, you're vulnerable for about 3 seconds. So you really got to keep an eye on that. That does suck when you're trying to run around. One of the other problems I have with this, it's a vast world, yeah, but you're on foot. You do get a permanent waystone where you can teleport basically back to town, and there's like 1 or 2 other spots I've unlocked that you can teleport to, but mainly you're hoofing it, and it takes forever to get anywhere. And the quest that you have to go collect this and run it back, I mean, I say I have 15 hours into it. Not a lot of that, at least half of that's running around doing nothing, trying to find out where the hell I'm supposed to go, or running across the lane. I mean, it's very pretty. You can definitely tell it's PS3 era, but it's not hard on the eyes unless you're kind of compare the texture quality a little bit there. I mean, you can kind of see turning sideways there. It's not the greatest, but other than that, I do think it's visually a B+ at least for this type of game, especially that 60 frame. It's so smooth. It's so nice. Love that 60 frame. I think I lost the Griffin though, so let me jump in if it'll allow me to. This is your inventory system, which, okay, so the way this works, at least from my understanding, is you can do a lot of combining of different items to make other items. You don't find very many like weapons and things in the field. They're few and far between. Mostly those have been bought, from what I've found. I've found maybe 2 weapons. The majority of what you're going to find are curatives and herbs and things like that you combine into other things. So again, very bland, very dull, not a whole lot going on in there. The skill trees are a little bit better. If I can remember how to open those. There we go. I don't think it's going to allow me to access too much, but I can kind of give you an idea. Okay, there you go. Yeah, these are the ones that I have unlocked. So I have quite a few. Some of these are not for sword. They're only for dagger. And your augments are passives, more or less. And those are the different sword strikes I have. So the combat portion of it, the skill-wise, and that I'll give them. There is enough of a variety there to want to try different things and figure out which works for you. The antler strike that I have, actually, I will never get rid of. That move knocks pretty much any humanoid on their ass and opens them up for attack. That one right there, yeah, that one's pretty smooth. You cannot customize your regular combo, which I think that would be a nice little touch. Maybe change it up a little bit, or have a couple of different presets to make your own. That would have been nice. But in terms of Western RPGs, things like Dragon Age, at least the older ones, I actually have not played the newer one. This is definitely a step up. I would say it's around perhaps Witcher levels of combat. Maybe not quite there, but it's up there. You can augment your weapons with different elements, like I'm using fire right now, and that's what my pawn has done. And the pawns, I like the idea. I think it could have been executed a little bit better because the AI in them is not the greatest. But the general idea is the more of an enemy type that you kill, the more that your pawns will learn about them. So they learn that goblins are weak to fire, then they're going to augment your weapons with fire, and they're going to use fire abilities. That's great, except only when it works. Sometimes your pawns are just absolutely atrocious. They don't know up from down. I'm going to turn this guy in right here. One that I, for some reason, have not turned in yet. There we go. Yeah, we're good. Alright, so that's turned in. And your pawns, just as you see there, they will learn quests and what to do on those quests as well. So when you pick up other people's pawns and you're stuck on a quest, one of the pawns you have with you might actually be able to walk you through it. And that's helped me like once. I have actually had to look up a few things on here because there's not too much that's explained to you. This is more of the old style of figure it out yourself. It does not hold your hand too much in terms of difficulty or what would you call that? Accessibility, I suppose. And it takes some getting used to. I'm not that big of a fan of it. Don't get me wrong, I don't want my hand held the entire time, but at least give me an idea of what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go on some of these quests. A lot of it is so convoluted, like you would have absolutely no idea what it's talking about without looking up a guide or just trial and error. And I have a few quests that I haven't done yet because of that, because I simply don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to find the item that it's wanting me to find. It's kind of hit or miss. I really wish there were more combat segments, and that's kind of where the accessibility of it really off-puts me, because I want to get into the fight again. There was a battle that we had to fight this pretty large army of goblins and ogres and break our way through their ranks, and that was intense. That was fun as hell, but it doesn't happen enough. That's my biggest complaint. I could deal with it because a game doesn't have to have a great story to be good. Our Western RPG story might want to be a little bit more important, but I'm even willing to overlook that if the gameplay is fun enough. And it is, but it doesn't happen enough. And that's where it kind of falls apart. So we're on a different side of the map that I haven't really fully explored this part. I have ran into a dragon here, and it kind of scared the hell out of me because that thing has like 9 health bars and pretty much is just going to one-shot me at this level. But we're going to run around here, see if we can find a few different enemies. Alright, so she is going to basically taunt him up. And even these guys have their own unique weaknesses, which is their tails. Get behind them, cut their tails off, and they'll take way more damage. And you see that up strike there, just laying waste to them, giving us a chance to cut that tail off. There we go. This is completely pointless for me to come through and kill these lizards. I could just walk past them and go about my merry way. But I don't want to, because I enjoy killing them. It's gratifying to fight them. Leveling up is important, obviously, but I believe that where I've gotten is I'm not unlocking too many more abilities than what I've already have for my assassin spec, because my vocation level, I believe, is almost maxed out. Now, there are things that I don't fully understand about this, like secret augmentations. I haven't discovered anything like that. There might be moves later on that I can find or learn somehow, but I don't think so. There's not enough information given to really assess some of this stuff and make an informed decision. I'm just kind of gone with what I've found has worked and went and slaughtered some lizard men. What you got for me? Are you just going to rest for me? Well, we can look at the skills a little bit here. So, this is what I can still learn for my sword. I've pretty much learned everything that I wanted to learn. Drawing dead to the circle, especially effective when surrounded. Alright. Place an explosion. This is all sword stuff. Why not? We can learn the compass slash. And then full move would be the upgraded version of it. Alright. I don't use a shield, so I haven't learned any of the shield abilities, but you see there's quite a few. And then those are all the dagger ones. Actually I can scroll down. There's a lot of dagger moves. There's a lot of different skills that you can incorporate into figure out exactly what works best for you. Even the bow had more than I was expecting. And I use the ones that I like. I haven't really changed much around since then, honestly. Now the core abilities, I believe, as I was saying before, the regular combo doesn't change much. Unless these change it. I can't figure out if they do because I haven't seen a difference with them. So I could be wrong. There could be more to this than what I understand. But it doesn't tell you any of this. It's kind of, again, it's hit and miss. You have to figure it out as you go. Let's take the compass slash there. See how that works out. Compass slash. Oh, well, that's kind of lame. Oh well, the one that I had, I haven't really found anything big to use it on anyways. So, I'm going to pull up the map. That is not what I wanted. Just to kind of get an idea here. Map is huge. I mean, the map is absolutely massive. And I don't know where to go now. I'm not sure. I've got a few quests that we can look at here. I could probably find this one. These are all like bounty quests though. They're kind of like optional quests. There's no way to tell what is going to further the game. Don't like that. And then which one of these that am I stuck on? Let me see if I can find it. Mouse scroll wheel does not work in these menus. That kind of irritates me. I gotta keep remembering it. This one. So I'm gonna end up looking this up in a walkthrough or something, but it says visit the castle gardens under cover of darkness and hear what the dude has to say. And there's a marker on the map. I can track this quest and it will mark exactly where I'm supposed to go, at least supposedly. I will mark it. I will go there at night. There is nothing there. I cannot figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do on this quest whatsoever. There's no other information to go off of. I don't know if it's glitched. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's not telling me to go in a certain place. Maybe I'm supposed to go underground. I don't know, but I can't figure that one out. And I've came across that on numerous quests, and it is infuriating because I want to keep going. I want to keep progressing more than just run around killing things. Albeit that be fun, I want the scripted portions to happen. I mean, don't go in the water, by the way, that'll kill you. But there is tombs that I've went into and found these cultists that were performing rituals, and I had to take out all of them. I mean, that part of it's fun and highly enjoyable, but it's not happening enough. Maybe this is one that you really need to use a walkthrough to play. That's what I'm starting to think, because I think for me to get any further, I'm going to have to go find a walkthrough myself. I don't know what else to do to further this, and this is probably the third time this has happened. But it's got these guys, and they're fun to kill, and I can take them out all day and throw them around and stab them on the ground and light them on fire. And the compass slash, apparently. So that's what I have for it so far. I really want to enjoy this game, and I do enjoy the gameplay aspect mostly. The RPG elements, they could use a little bit of work. There's this giant guy over here. That's who we're going to take, because this is what makes this game so much fun. Alright, get off the ground there. There we go. Let's start with the little guys, and then we're going to work on Big Boy here. There we go. Yeah, take him out. Fly him up in the air. Burst strike. Burst strike. Burst strike. It can be a bit spammy. That's why I use that one, but it's effective, so. Come on, big boy. Oh, I didn't want to pick you up. Get off me. Alright, we're going to climb him up. We're going to climb the Cyclops. We're going to get up on his head here. See if we can knock off that helmet. Nope, not happening. Oh, he went down. The lightning whip worked. Jeez, cracking that thing like crazy. Alright, let's see if we can get his helmet off. Oh, nope, that didn't work. There we go. There we go. Stabby, stabby. I don't use my right click hardly ever. It's just not any... It's not very useful. We took out the club out of his hand, so we debilitated that. If I grab onto his legs when he gets back up, he won't be able to walk around anymore. We're going to take out the belly there. He's about halfway down. Getting back up. Alright. Let's retreat for a moment. Regenerate some of our stam. Your stamina actually will regen slower the more weight you have on you too. And I might have too much on me. That might be why it's taking so long. So my pawns are over there doing work right now. Especially Cassis, she's up there just taking him. Sai gonna hit him with that lightning whip again. Yeah. There's the lightning whip. Yeah. Some of the spell effects on this are great. And boom. So that wasn't the best example I could give because I just couldn't get his helmet off for some reason. But that's how you have to take down the big guys, and it feels epic. And when you're fighting a big guy, you really feel that sense of urgency of getting out of their way, because if he stomps down, you're done. The Cyclopses are fairly easy. I've taken on a Chimera. That was pretty dope. And an Ogre, I believe it's not a Cyclops, but they're more difficult. That was pretty fun too. The Hydra was alright. I mean, there's quite a... It happens infrequent enough that you don't get bored of it, but it also keeps it fresh, so at least thus far from what I've played of it. But that's what I've got. That's what I've got so far. I really should probably pick up a walkthrough because I want to continue it. I don't think the story is going to get much better. There's very little to speak of, but the gameplay aspect is fun enough for me to continue playing it, and that's really what we play them for. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen on PC, developed by Capcom, available on Steam now. If you like what you've seen here, go check it out. And I will be putting more videos out here shortly after this one. I apologize for the hiatus, but hopefully we can get back to somewhat of a schedule. Until then, see you guys next time.